Hi everyone, welcome to Cucumber training program. In the last class, we created a simple feature file followed by a step definition. In that step definition, we have a written just a normal system.out.println commands inside that. So today, what I would like to do means I just want to write down a Selenium program inside the step definitions. Okay, I would like to write down a Selenium program inside the step definition. The scenario which I would like to take out over here is login into Salesforce application. This is the scenario which I would like to consider to write down my program. Okay, so prior that, the steps what we need to consider out over here are the first step is check out whether this Maven project is configured with Selenium Java drivers or not. Download and place the browser exe files within the project under drivers folder. See, these two are the most important things required for us to work on Selenium on any kind of a project. So this is the Selenium configuration which we are adding to our project. So if you have any doubts related to Selenium configuration and other things, we have a bunch of videos related to Selenium WebDriver. Kindly look into them. Okay, kindly look into them once before, okay, to configure the WebDriver and all those things. So I'm not explaining all those things directly, I'm jumping on. So what I would like to do right now means I would like to navigate to mavenrepository.com as usual. So from this Maven repository, I just want to add Selenium Java. I just want to search for Selenium Java. And from the search results, I'm picking on a first link. And from these many versions, I'm picking 3.5.1. And the dependency related to 3.5.1, I'm updating in our current project here. When you save this, it will take a few minutes time to download all the Selenium related dependencies to the current Maven project. There is a simple thing which we need to do. And here explicitly what I did means Suryain Cucumber is my project. From the existing projects directly I pasted the drivers folder here. Inside that it contains a Chrome driver exe file and a Gecko driver exe which is going to be a Firefox browser. A Chrome as well as a Firefox browser exe files I have separated here. So when we refresh these Selenium Cucumber or else Suryain Cucumber folder, you can find these drivers folder inside that. And under the Maven dependencies, all the Selenium related dependencies got added. So these two are the first and most important things which we people need to follow. Okay, these two are the first and most important things which we need to follow. Okay, great. So the another point out over here is okay, that's fine. So once we are done up to here, okay, once after we have downloaded these things and once after we have specified these things, the next point is create a feature file. For this, login into Salesforce scenario. Great. Let me switch back to my Eclipse editor. Under the features, I'm creating a new file with a name as SF login page dot feature. So I just wanna create a feature file related to Salesforce login. Hence, I am defining it as an SF login dot a feature, and I clicked on a finish button. Great. Usually the feature file will start with a feature keyword and the name is Salesforce login. SF means it's a Salesforce itself. Okay. Scenario. The scenario which I would like to create out over here is verify login functionality. I just want to verify the login functionality given which we are going to define the preconditions here wherein which accessing Salesforce application when user enters username, password and click on a login button. Then verify logout button. That's it. So this is the simplest thing, guys. So I just created this particular stuff. Okay, and okay, the feature file got created wherein which we are asking it to log in into a Salesforce application. So I need to write down the step definition for this, right? We need to write down the step definition for that. We have a three different ways. We can write down the step definition by our own. We can write down the step definition by a Chrome plugin and by Eclipse editor. In the current scenario, what I would like to do means I just want to generate using a Chrome plugin. Hence, I am selecting this Teddy Jerkin. And now, whatever the scenario is there, copy the whole thing from your Eclipse editor, go back to Teddy Jerkin and place it out over here. Change it to Java steps. So here corresponding Java steps will be converted. Right. Among all these, I can copy these three things given when and as well as a then. Go back here. I can create a new step definition class. So here SF login page and in which I'm placing these things. Okay, let us import these things. Import. I just imported the required components here. Great, guys. So we specified up to here. Then the next point of what we people need to consider out over here is given when and a then. Now my intention is now we need to write Selenium commands where we need to write down inside given when and then only. As we have already configured Selenium directly, we can use that. Great. So directly we can use this particular Selenium as it was already configured. Okay. So how we are going to handle this particular one? You know, in order to launch a particular browser, see accessing Salesforce application. So it means here we need to write down a code right here under the given. We need to write down a code which will launch the browser, open the application. Generally, in order to launch a browser in Selenium, there are some piece of a code. Okay, so what I'm doing means from an existing script, I'm copying that a piece of a code. Okay, so I'm copying that a piece of code and I'm pasting here. I'm adding a comment below 2 lines of a code will launch a browser and that too will launch a Chrome browser. Okay, so let me paste it here. So it's going to launch a Chrome browser. So system.setProperty WebDriver.Chrome driver WebDriver space driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, so if you don't have any idea about these Selenium, kindly watch the Selenium videos in the below sections. Get familiarized with the Selenium concepts and then move further here. Okay, great. I just specified here. After this one, I need to open an application, right? So here below command will open an application on the above browser. We are using a driver.get command to open the application, and the application URL I need to pass here www.login.salesforce.com. So I have a specified a login.salesforce.com. I just specified. If you have any doubts, open the Salesforce application, copy the URL, go back here, update the URL. Great. See, okay, I just defined here. In the given, as per the requirement, I open the Salesforce application. So this is the logic which will launch a browser first and which will open an application next. And now we need to enter the username and a password. As the browser was already launched, we need to enter the username and a password. Generally, in order to enter the username and a password, okay, we need to know where exactly we want to enter, which we can call it as an object identification. Okay, which we can call it as an object identification. And moreover, in detail about object identification, again, you need to watch in WebDriver only. See, the point which I am adding out over here is assuming that your people have an idea on Selenium, and I am continuing these topics. And one more advantage, whatever we have a given is, if you don't have any idea on Selenium, we have already added a bunch of Selenium videos to this curriculum. So you can watch the Selenium videos and then you can relate these contents. Okay, you people can relate this particular stuff among yourself. Okay, just by watching the Selenium WebDriver videos. So if you are not good at Selenium, one suggestion is finish the Selenium WebDriver up to 15 lectures and then jump onto this Cucumber and Selenium integration. Okay, this is the most important thing which you people need to know. Great. I just created this basic configuration. And now the next point is I need to enter a value. So driver dot. So here the simple point is driver means we are launching a browser instance. Let me declare this one globally so that I can access this driver throughout my script. Driver dot, I need to use a find element by dot id. So I need to use a by dot id. Let me check out the properties here. Right click on a username, inspect. So this field is having a id property as a username. Copy it, go back here, paste it here. Dot send the keys. I would like to enter my username here. So this is a dynamic user ID which I have created. And now driver dot find element by dot ID again. And let me identify the password here. So it is an ID again. Go back here. Dot send keys. I have given some dynamic password here. Okay, I have given some dynamic password here. And I need to click on a login button now. So right click on a login button, inspect element, it is having an ID button. So driver dot find element by dot ID. So here I need to pass this ID property and I would like to perform a click operation on that. After that, thread dot sleep for some time. I just want to wait for some time. So here, as per the requirement, it is entering the username, it is entering the password, and it is clicking on a login button. Once after it clicked on a login button, finally it needs to verify the logout link. Let me log in into this application once to check out how the login button looks like. So let me log in into the app. Now, logout button is getting displayed. Right click on a logout, inspect element with a firebug. So logout is having a linker text. Copy it. Go back here. Driver dot find element by dot link text. So in order to verify whether something is displayed in a web page or not, we are using a is displayed method in Selenium, which will return, okay, which will return whether it got displayed or not, a boolean value. So I stored a boolean if obj info. If this value is true, system.out.println logout link got displayed, successfully logged in. Okay, the same way, else if this condition got a failed, then logout link not displayed, and here login failed. That's it. I have written this. So for the existing logics, I converted this whole thing. Okay, great. Now, once after we are done with the script, let's move on to the test runner and see. So in the test runner, whatever the feature file you would like to execute, I need to change that feature file. So my feature file is sflogin.feature. So I'm copying this feature file, name, and I'm specifying the name. See guys, if at all I'm removing this name and directly specifying the features of folder means it will execute all the feature files present in that folder. I don't want to execute all the files. My intention is to execute only SF login. That's it. Now let me run my test script. This should launch a browser. This should open an application and then it should perform the operation. See, okay, it entered the username, it entered the password, it clicked on a login button, and the verify some another page is displaying here, right? Some page is displaying and it is getting passed, whereas here it is displaying that the code snippet is missing for this one. Somehow it is not recognizing the code snippet for logout feature. Why? Let us look into that. Probably the spaces might cause some issues here. Okay. Let me delete all these unnecessary spaces here from this file. Yes. Okay. Okay, it is recognizing now because of spaces. See guys, the ultimate point out over here is whenever we are trying to log in into a Salesforce application, due to some security issues, always it will trigger a verification code to the register email ID. You need to copy that verification code which was triggered to that email ID, and then we need to place it out over here. So I don't want to verify such things. So directly I'm verifying this verify button. Whether we have a verify button displayed or not, I would like to verify that. Okay, so here we have a ID as a save property. So copy this, go back here. I'm specifying, I'm changing this one as instead of a link text by ID, and this is what I displayed. And here, if that one was not displayed, it should display as a failure also. Fail, login failed. Okay, failed login fail. So here the fail, actually we need to insert, okay, actually we need to assert a command. Based on that, automatically it will fail. As this is a JUnit, we have certain annotations available in JUnit which we can consider as a failures. So I will show you how to add those failures as well. Fine. We will study about these assertions moving further, but this is what I just want to verify. Now, let me run my test runner class again and see how this is going to work. It's getting executed and it entered the credentials. It clicked on a login button. It verifies this one, and in the console, logout link displayed successfully logged in. Okay, so it got executed successfully. So this is the way. If you clearly observe, for the normal feature file, we have integrated the Selenium program. Okay, for the normal feature file, we have integrated the Selenium program. This is the best example for that. Okay, cool. So in the next lecture, we will study how to create a reusable methods. So you know that working on automation testing, the reusability is the most important factor. So how we are going to convert this SF login into a reusable codes. We will see moving further with an example. That's all I have for the today's class. See you again in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye bye.